So Dennis McCann's still with us in the studio. We'll hear from Mick Hennessy next, Tasha Jonas, as I said, as well. But let's turn to boxing in general. Like in the traveller community at the moment, as I say, every other person that stops me asks me at the moment, in public, what's happening with Tyson Fury. There must be debate at the moment that everyone wants to see him fight Alexander Usyk or Anthony Joshua, because those are the two fights for him to finish the era, surely.
Of course, even if it's his last fight, it should be here for one of them. I think the British fans really want to see the Joshua fight, don't we?
Yeah.
I just don't understand what the holdback is. I can't wait to watch it, to be fair.
I mean, what's the genuine feeling within the travelling community? Is there frustration, on Tyson's part? Because look, we know that he's the number one heavyweight out there. He's proved that he's number one heavyweight, and of modern eras, everybody's got to box everyone. What do they want to see him fight Joshua? They want to see him fight Alexander Usyk. But what's the frustration like?
We all can't wait. Honestly, we genuinely all can't wait. And everyone just looks up to him so much. It's ridiculous, but we just cannot wait to see him get that mega fight. Because we're all going to be there cheering him on. If
it is going to be Francis Ngannou, we had Frank Warren, your promoter, on air with us before you came on, and he said, all I'll tell you is that Tyson Fury is fighting. We believe it's early October. We believe it's Francis Ngannou. I mean, a lot of people are going to be disappointed with that. I mean, a lot of people are going to find it fascinating.
The box office numbers will be insane because
they will.
It's a crossover thing.
Everyone will rubberneck to watch it.
Absolutely.
But will you watch that?
I'll definitely watch it, yeah. He's always excited whenever he does. Whatever he does, he's always going to be exciting.
That's the thing, isn't it? That whatever Tyson Fury does, it's going to be entertainment, right? It's going to be a big build-up. Francis Ngannou is going to be one of those ones where people go, right, you got the MMA, UFC champion going in there heavy-handed. Can he turn over the world number one, having his first fight? But it will be a fascinating build-up between them two.
Of course it will. They're both definitely a bit leery to each other, aren't they? So it's going to be... I can't wait. The build-up alone, I can't wait for. More than the fight.
Can you imagine being frustrated, though, if you weren't fighting Naoya Inoue or Stephen Fulton or, the guys who are the top of your division at the moment, and that you're having to wait until... and have 3 fights in between that weren't them because you were in a position to either win the world title or be the undisputed champion, and you were being told, no, just wait, have that fight because there's greater riches there. That must be a very frustrating situation to be in.
Of course, yeah. I'd hate that because especially you have the fire just to go straight to the head of the snake, wouldn't you? You want to get the big belt, don't you?
Straight to the head of the snake, yeah. Exactly.
Yeah.
And stay there. Not slide down the snake and climb the ladder again.
Nope.
Well, it's where Tyson Fury's sat at the moment in his career. They're in his, all these heavyweights now are in the twilights of their careers. So, you want to see these fights happen sooner rather than later, don't you? And for Tyson, it's frustrating because he's got to train every day. You can explain what that's like. When you haven't got a fight lined up, or you're waiting for a fight to happen, but you've got to stay in shape. It's very hard to stay focused in the gym, innit? To stay motivated, to get up in the morning, go running, go in the gym, and you're doing that. It's like live, eat, sleep boxing, and that's what a boxer's life is, isn't it?
Of course it is, yeah. It's not just a training part. It's the dedication and the other things. Your friends asking you to do this, do that, and then like family parties, whatever. So it's not just a training; it's everything else around it. It's a lifestyle, your whole life.
Are you ever frustrated by the politics of it, though?
Of course.
You personally?
Yep, definitely. I think boxing has become too much about money, more than the fights. Now, we all like money. Everyone likes money, doesn't they? But even this fight here now, for me, I could have got the same money to fight 3 Tom, Dick and Harrys that Frank mentioned to me, but I didn't. I said, no, I don't want them. I said, I want that guy. I said, give me him. Are
you here for a good time in boxing and not a long time to achieve your aims and then go away with your faculties intact? Spencer, very good friend of mine for 25 years. I thank the Lord he's here. He escaped with his life. It's an inherently dangerous sport. You guys at this weight are boiling down to a certain weight, and you're generally going 12 rounds at championship level because the elite fighters normally at your weight, in your weight category, have great chins, great engines, and you guys have to box hard for 12 rounds. Is it a long career for you? Do you have a timeline for yourself?
I haven't got a timeline, no, but I think we're a turn pro so young, I think I'll get out a lot younger. But of course, we all want the money. But I'm not even thinking about the money at the moment. I'm thinking about bringing up the younger generation up with me. I think I've still got 10 years of me in this game, maybe. Well, help a goal if it goes to plan.
You've got a style that is like, you've got a great ring craft boxing IQ, so you're one of those guys that you throw shots and you've mastered the art of boxing, and that's hit and not be hit. That you've got a good defence as well, and I think that's important for the little guys, because the little guys, it puts a lot of years on the miles. Sorry, when you're getting involved all the time, having tear-ups and whatnot. It puts miles on the clock, man. That's what I'm trying to say.
Of course it does.
And you know how to control the space, and when you control the space, you can dictate the pace of the fight, etc., etc. That's what you do really well.
Definitely, less punishment the better. Obviously, want to go home to my family nice and safe as well. I want to keep looking pretty.
You're doing all right there, mate.
Ain't doing too bad.
Couple of questions from the public. How do you see the Joyce versus Jang rematch going?
I think the same again. I think Jang might
It's
be
a very hard fight for Joe.
It's a very hard fight for Joe.
You've got to respect him for that, though, haven't you?
Of course you have. He's got big cojones, or should I say?
He's got to get into this fight quicker. He's obviously got to move his head and move his feet, but it's not his forte. But he's got to get into this fight quicker.
Zhang just is such a big, long southpaw, Olympic gold medalist, clever,
sneaky.
Yeah, but that's where I think Joyce
those
went
angles
wrong.
he created for his left hand.
Joyce come in too light, and that's where he went wrong. I think that it's one of those ones that he is the juggernaut for a reason, and I think that size
got to be reckless.
helps him absolutely. And I think that's what he's
So
got
how
to
does
do.
he deal with the southpaw then?
How do you deal with that? I think he's just got to be wild and hope for the best. I think he's got to swing a few over the top, and try and maybe mould the southpaw, grab him, try and rough him up.
He's got to take him into the second half of the fight and wear him down. That's what he's got to do, because it's always going to be tough. The first 6 rounds is going to be hard.
When you're a southpaw, obviously, aren't you? But when you're fighting a southpaw, what are those things that will you switch? We have seen you switch actually.
Yeah. I'm going to say something funny to you, and you probably won't believe it, but I can't tell if someone's southpaw or orthodox. I genuinely can't.
Oh really?
I'll just hit whatever I see. Whatever comes available, I just throw it.
And the funny thing is, we're learning more and more. Are you right? Are you a righty or a lefty?
A right-handed southpaw. But
so you are a right-handed southpaw. So Bruce Lee was a converted southpaw as well. Yeah. So many fighters are.
But I get in a lot of people's brains. But that's why I can't tell. If my coach asks me, like he knows as well that I can't tell, I'll ask him what hand is it, and he'll point his finger and he'll say that one.
Is that right?
I promise you, I can't tell.
Do you know what? That's a beautiful ability to have, that you can't recognise that, because when an orthodox boxer is a southpaw, a lot of orthodoxies can't handle that because of the styles. Top fighters have struggled with southpaws because it's just one of those things. But if you can't recognise it, then that's beautiful.
Can't recognise.
Another question's coming. I'm going to come to Jimmy, your brother, in a minute, and I'll get him to tell a story about you, because we do need a coach, because you're so modest about yourself. So save that story for the end of this segment. How do you see Usyk versus Dubois? Alexander Usyk versus Daniel Dubois. How do you see that?
I'm backing Daniel all the way, but I think Usyk might be a bit too clever. Could size hopefully play a big advantage for Daniel. He's always got a puncher's chance, and by the help of God, he gets the job done for us UK fans. But I just think Usyk might be a bit too clever, too fast, too sharp.
And finally, we give him a bit of praise. What's it like being promoted by Frank Warren?
Very, very good. I speak to Frank quite a lot. He sends some funny old WhatsApps.
Oh yeah, he likes
he
a bit
loves
of comedy.
The WhatsApp.
He loves a bit of comedy, doesn't he, Frank? Come on, Jimmy. You're the younger brother of
That's
Dennis.
Right,
you're the younger brother. You've sat there very diligently. Dennis doesn't talk himself up that much, in my view. Mm-hmm. He can talk himself up a lot more. You've got some stories about him?
Well, I have a couple. Give me a couple of questions, I'll answer them.
Okay. Is he a funny man or not?
Yeah, he can be funny sometimes. He can be annoying sometimes. The way brothers go on it.
What's your favourite moment in his career so far?
I think it's just when he's knocking out the people. It's the crowd behind him.
What fight do you reckon?
Yeah.
Oh, the fight.
James Beats, maybe?
Yeah, I think it's James Beats. That shot you hit him when you put him down the first time.
And coming from the boxing McCann family, obviously you've stopped now. What do you feel sometimes there's too much pressure on you guys to box?
I think for him, yeah. My brother Richard does a lot as well. Do you know what I mean? Like, from how...
Little Richard, 12-year-old Little Richard. Can't wait to meet Little Richard. I think I did meet Richard.
He's funnier than all of us.
Is he?
Talk better than all of us.
He was there at the Albert Hall, actually, wasn't he, with your mum?
Yeah, he was.
Yeah.
But
with a little grin on his face the whole time. Yeah, that one.
That's the one.
I've got one for you, Jimmy. What's it like now seeing Dennis, grow and develop as a fighter, and now he's a champion and looking to go on to world honours? What was that like growing up, seeing him develop like that?
I'm very proud of him, to be fair with you. I've looked up to him like when I was boxing as well. Like seeing him do so many things, go to Europeans, beat so many national champions, being a 9-time national champion himself. I was pretty proud of him, to be fair with you.
He took a few rib shots on the way as well.
I was going to ask that. That was the next question. To be fair.
I've had a bit of stick in my time, trust me.
And the final question for you has got to be then, Dennis, that if Jimmy starts it, will you finish it?
As in a fight?
Wherever it is.
I'll finish it with a screw shot.
I'm going to have to run it, not mind finish it.
Brilliant.
It's been an absolute pleasure having you as well, Jimmy, on with it. Give your regards to Dad as well.
I will do.
It's been great to have you both on. Dennis, we wish you all the best in your career. It's been lovely to have you on. Come again, please.
Tune in August the 18th for a big KO from the Menace.
We will Headlining York Hall, Bethnal Green, the one and only, the Menace, Dennis McCann.